What's up, Ecom?
Ecom.
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 Yeah, you can call me whatever. It's
I called you
old.
Ecom.
It's kind of old.
I called you Ecom.
Yeah, well, Ecom. That's what. Okay,
That's my job.
yeah, that's your job.
Yeah.
So you work at Save on Foods,
Yes, I do.
and how long have you been working there?
About a year.
1 year?
Yeah.
That is dedication, man.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, like, what is it like to be an ecom?
It sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta walk around and like shop all day.
Oh my God. Well, I
Lame.
mean,
You
you
know.
get paid to shop for our people.
You get paid, but imagine shopping for 8 hours.
Dude, I
It
understand
sucks.
that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, is there e-com in like malls or something like that? Like, I guess it is online
Maybe.
order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not the same.
No.
Yeah, no.
And you're a cashier.
Yeah, I'm a cashier. So me and Kellan, we both work at Save on Foods, and I'm a cashier. And I think, do you do cash sometimes, or is that a no?
Occasionally.
Occasionally,
Yeah.
when they need it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so we do. I do cash. He does e-com, and I mean, I handle the last impressions on customers, and it's different. It's different than e-com, but cash, I would say, is a little harder than e-com. What do you say on that?
Yeah, cash you're just dealing with people like all day.
All day,
And
yeah.
it's the same monotonous thing.
Exactly.
It just the time just drags on when
Yeah.
you're on cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I hate it. I actually just switched departments to Frozen,
Oh yeah.
and I did Frozen last Sunday, last Sunday, and it was surprisingly good. I enjoyed it. I got the work done, and it was fun.
Yeah.
That's what work should be, fun.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we want to talk about? This is our first podcast.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah. Are they real? Do they come to Earth?
Honestly, in my religion, and we're back to the topic of religion again, but it says that aliens and extraterrestrial things do exist.
Do they come to Earth though? Have they visited? And how would you know?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Well. What if I told you I have proof?
You have proof. You have proof that aliens came to Earth.
Well, not me, but I know a guy.
Dude, as shady as that sounds, that is complete bullshit. I know that.
Why?
Because,
Why?
first of all,
Okay, so this guy, all right,
Okay,
he
so this
worked
guy,
at Area 51.
Area 51.
Yeah, he worked on the UFOs, man.
Okay, so
He did. He was a
And-
physicist. He was
so-
an engineer.
does he live in Canada?
No,
Oh, so he's a friend from
he's from the United
the
States.
Okay, I was like, what? That does not make any sense. So yeah, that does kind of make sense. But how did you come to meet this guy?
I never met him. He's on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh my god, dude, you do know that that's fake news. That's all propaganda.
No way, man. This guy's story is legit.
Oh my god. Okay, aliens exist, but I think we're not gonna be able to see them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the reason why I say
He saw one.
No, he
He did.
he probably didn't.
He
man.
saw one for like 1 second. He was walking by a window and he saw this little alien body lying on a table.
That was probably a statue
Maybe.
outside of Area 51.
Yeah.
Because of that entire alien theme.
Yeah. He said it might have actually been like a test dummy because apparently the ships, like the actual compartment for the whoever was driving these things was small. So they might have been like manufacturing, trying to like recreate the alien.
So I guess it must have been fake.
Could have been, or it could have been an alien.
Well, I mean, okay, even if aliens do come to this Earth, what are we going to do about it? Like, are they going
Depends.
to attack us? Are
That's
they
a good
gonna-
question.
Yeah, so like, what if they attack us? Then what are we going to do? Because like, what if they have like, I've watched this movie. It was called Battleship.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched it?
Battleship Earth?
No, it's just called Battleship.
No, I never heard of that.
So the U.S. Navy, basically, they have these ships, right? And these alien ships attack Earth, and they hit into the Pacific Ocean, I believe, the Pacific Ocean, and these Navy ships go check it out, and it turns out to be aliens, and they want to attack, right? So they get close, you're essentially fucked, right? So that happened. And the real like thing, it was kind of scary. Is like these aliens had all this technology, all this stuff, and we just had these metal freaking ships
on the water,
on the water,
floating on the water,
floating on the water. And
Yeah.
like this ship was so big that it
like
was probably
sitting
touching
ducks.
the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
That's how big it was, I guess. It was like anchored on the bottom of the ocean floor.
Huh.
And it was standing. You could see it wasn't floating or anything. That's how big it is.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how big this alien ship is, and what a metal box compares to that, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I was like, okay, so you're talking about aliens, and if they attack us and they have modern technology that we don't even have, then what the hell are we gonna do about it?
I think we're fucked. Personally, like, I think
Right?
I think they're just gonna fuck us up.
So, but then this is the reason why we need to develop rockets to evacuate Earth.
Rockets? You kidding me, man? They got laser beams and shit.
I mean, they do, but
Yeah, rockets are like
we can
Stone
evacuate.
Age
We
technology.
can evacuate before that. No,
evacuate. Where are we gonna go? The moon? We're gonna run to the moon
why not?
like little bitches.
No, we can go. I mean, Elon Musk is trying to get to Mars, so yeah.
Yeah. So it's okay. Okay, aliens, take our planet. We're just gonna go to Mars.
Yes.
There's no air, no trees, nothing, no water.
Nothing. Exactly. That's
We're
why
just
we
gonna go
need to
there.
start developing, resources that will provide us with those things like recycling air, recycling water, finding tools. I was reading this article that there's water underneath, like in the moon's crust, like if you dig deep enough, and then you can use that to.
I think that's Jupiter's moon.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think that was Jupiter's
Yeah.
moon.
Yeah.
I mean, that will take too long to get there, but
Yeah, and I think it's cold over there.
actually, I've
pretty far
seen
from the sun.
Jupiter with a telescope.
Yeah, me too.
Beautiful. Actually, I've seen Saturn as well. Saturn's more interesting because you can actually see
the
those
ring.
rings.
Yep.
And whereas Jupiter, it just looks like a white blob.
Yeah,
But
sometimes
need
you can see the moons on it though.
Yeah,
You can see like two of its moons.
I couldn't. But these guys, I was in Phoenix and they had like a $12,000 telescope.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think aliens will attack Earth.
Why wouldn't they?
I
What
mean,
if they
reason
what
do
if they
have?
lost their own home? There's many reasons for them to attack us, to
Then
be
we tell them to
hostile
go
towards
die,
us.
because they can't take our planet. And in the movie,
We'd
the
have to fight
humans-
them. If they
No,
wanted our
in-
planet,
yeah,
we'd have to fight them.
In the end, in the end of the movie, the humans won.
Yeah.
Because they outsmarted the bastards.
Yeah, that's what happens in movies.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Independence Day?
yeah.
Yeah. They just like flew up into the hole. It's like, we're gonna blow up the city, and then he just flew into
No,
the hole and blew up
but-
the ship.
But if aliens are gonna attack us, then we gotta have a self-destruct button on Earth, because, right? Let's say if we want to colonize Mars, right? And these aliens want to colonize our Earth, then what do we have to do, right? We have to kill them. So we'll have a self-destruct button. Put like nuclear like submarines.
Yeah, but what if you're like drinking your coffee and you're not quite awake and you accidentally sit on that button and you blow the whole fucking world up?
I mean, obviously, no. It's not. It's not just that. Like,
Oh, it's like
It's
multiple presidents have to turn
yeah,
keys.
turn keys. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it should be.
A
I mean,
self-destruct button.
and it can't be like you can't be on Earth. It should have like some sort of geo positioning thing, like saying that okay, yeah, I'm on moons. It's safe to blow up Earth, right? I don't know where this is coming from, but yeah, it's coming from somewhere. Like it has to have some. Obviously, engineers will make something good out of it, but obviously, we're not thinking it through. But yeah,
But don't you think that if we did get our home jacked and we happen to be on another planet already, we might want to take it back, like rather than just destroy it and kill all the aliens? Like it's like our home, right?
it's our home. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was actually watching this show on Netflix. It's called The 100.
The 100?
The 100.
Yeah, my buddy's been watching that. I don't watch that
Oh
yet.
my god, it's an amazing show, dude.
Okay. That's
I'm
what
not
he
even
said.
joking. Like, this show is crazy. So it talks about how this, this piece of technology basically destroyed Earth, and it was named Allie. Right? Sorry, I'm spoiling this for all you guys, but Allie, she destroyed the world, and missiles hit, and some people survived the radiation because it was nuclear, right? So some people survived the radiation, some people had deformities and stuff like that, but some people actually got through it, which is crazy. And when Allie came back to Earth, because she was in a spaceship, right, and she was doing all these tests, and all this stuff happened, and basically by this time there was a Resolute. A Resolute is like a spaceship, right? So they had this like big, huge spaceship in space where they lived, and that's where everything was. That's their entire Earth for them in like space, a tiny little spaceship, but it's actually really big, and you can search it up. It was pretty amazing. And so there were prisoners on this ship because bad things happen, and they needed prisoners. So I mean, they didn't need prisoners, but they had prisoners, and basically they sent prisoners down to Earth to as a trial subject to see if it was habitable or not. And they had these wristbands where they can track their health and all that and everything to see if they were alive, and their vitals are going like good, right? They're working, and it works. They made it down to Earth. Their spaceship on the way down kind of had damage, so it didn't really land as good as it was supposed to be, and they landed in the wrong spot. It was actually crazy. Like, you gotta watch the entire show, but basically the entire show is like how they landed on Earth, had conflict on Earth, killed these people, some other people killed them, and then Earth was destroyed at that point, and then they had to leave to another planet, and that other planet they're discovering all these anomalies and this cool stuff like extraterrestrial.
Sounds cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, let's make sure we're recording, eh?
Yeah. Are we recording?
Yep. Let's check yours though.
It says 11:54, so
You're good? Okay.
I believe so.
All right. Don't want.
Am I recording though?
Mishaps. Yeah. No, I was asking yours.
Okay, well, let's just see, just to make sure,
Yeah. Yep, you're good.
All right, perfect. Yeah, no, so I think it's, important to know all this stuff, right? Because some people are not educated.
What are we knowing? What's important?
Space.
Space. The final frontier. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was also watching this show called, what was it called? Space Force.
Space Wars. So you get all your space education from
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I actually have some credible sources as well, but space. Netflix is a good show for information.
Well,
I happen
to be pretty knowledgeable about space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know, do you know what a galaxy is?
Explain it to me. I know what it is, but yes, there's galaxies in the world, like the Andromeda.
Yeah.
Milky Way Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what's the Milky Way Galaxy?
It's a galaxy.
Which galaxy?
The Milky Way Galaxy.
It's our galaxy.
It's our galaxy. Yeah.
We live in the Milky Way.
Yes, correct.
What does the Milky Way look like? What shape is it?
I think it's. I don't know the shape, but I would say it's like
a spiral.
Oh.
It's a flat disc that's a spiral with a bright center, because in the center there's the highest density of stars. So galaxies are clusters of stars out in space.
Out
in space, and they're held in a group by each other's gravity, because massive bodies in space have gravity to them. The more mass an object has, the more gravity it has. So the more it pulls objects in space towards it.
Yeah.
So they're all held together, and that's why it's a spiral, a disc, because it's spinning around the center. The gravity is holding it.
That's cool. Didn't know that.
Yeah, and in the center where you have all those stars, see what happens? Stars collide with each other, and they sometimes.
Supernova? No, that's one.
Black holes.
Black hole. Yeah,
they rip a tear in space time itself, right? And
that's so interesting,
yeah. Or if a star gets big enough, if it sucks in enough matter into it, then it will just implode and
causing a rip in space time.
Yeah, and you'll see all of the bright glowing star matter just gets sucked into the middle of it, and sometimes it actually, the black hole itself still has that, because stars spin just like the Earth spins, and a star spins, and then after it implodes, it still has that sort of spinning field, and you'll see sometimes like a spiral of light going into the center of the black hole, and it also has poles, right? And sometimes if stuff's getting sucked into the hole too fast, it'll actually shoot out of the poles, and it'll shoot both up and down from the black hole in the center, and it looks like a spiral with two jets coming out the middle of it.
That is so cool. I've seen pictures of that,
Yeah.
but obviously it's not real. It's just
Yeah, it's like an artist's conception.
yeah, conception.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's actually cool.
Yeah. Actually, no, it might be real. They have real photos of that.
Oh, they do.
They do. Yeah.
Because
Oh, no, but you know what it is? The only time they can see it, because it's so far away, the only time they can see that is when there's something called a quasar, which is a super
I
massive.
have one question. How do you know all this?
I did this research when I was 16 years old, when I was your age.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I was into this stuff when I was your age. So, a quasar is when an entire galaxy full of stars, like average galaxy, this galaxy right here, the Milky Way, has
Yeah.
200 billion stars.
Wow.
And the black holes in the middle of this galaxy will eventually grow so big that they will devour the entire galaxy.
So how long will that take?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
A long time, though. It won't be in our lifetime, that's for sure.
Well, that's great to know. Thank you for
Yeah, so
explaining
basically,
that.
we're circling a great big toilet, and eventually
We're gonna make it down that toilet.
we will be flushed.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Well, where does that all go? Because the toilet leads to the sewage plant. The sewage plant leads back to the ocean. So, essentially, we're gonna make it to another space or a dimension.
Well,
Can you imagine that?
yeah. Well, the way that I understand it now, and this could be wrong, Stephen Hawking is the guy who figured it out.
Figured it out.
He's
yeah.
the black hole expert. But the idea is that it's not. People used to think maybe at the other side of a black hole there's a white hole, and this matter that's disappearing into it is getting spat out somewhere else, right? Somewhere else in space time. But Stephen Hawking says no, it's actually in the middle, but it's all of the matter gets sucked into a spot where it's infinitely dense. And he also said something super bizarre too, which is that within black holes, other universes might exist. Like that, all that matter that gets super densified in the middle of a black hole might bang out again like another big bang inside the black hole. I think Stephen Hawking said that.
Well, that's actually really interesting.
It's trippy stuff, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No, space itself is very trippy. You know, like that's why I like to focus on the right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, even the future. You know, in terms of careers and stuff like that. But yeah.
Careers. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, if you're thinking about that, if you're thinking about the fact that this whole galaxy will eventually be sucked into a supermassive black hole, it's like, but you're saying you prefer to think about, like, the now, to live in the now and think about your own personal
not,
future.
Right? Like, if you knew that you were destined to die on this specific date, you would just worry about that specific date, right? Wouldn't you not? Wouldn't you be like, okay, hey, I'm gonna die on this day. I better go to this place. I better do that. And I gotta get it done in this time frame.
Like, if you knew, like, knowing that your life is going to end,
Exactly.
you're going to want to do as much as you
factor.
can.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think about that? Having that fear?
Yeah, I think the fact that we all know that we're going to die, like, we're all mortal, right?
Yeah.
That motivates us to achieve as much as we can, live life to the fullest. Some people, it motivates them to be kind because they're like, hey, this is all impermanent, you know. Why fight? Why squabble over little things, right?
Exactly.
Like, just be kind while you're alive. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another topic now.
Like what?
Well, I mean, you tell me. Oh, wait, okay, you gave me the space one. Okay,
So
so
we had aliens. What else?
real estate.
There's another conspiracy. Oh, coronavirus.
Oh,
Do you
let's talk
think?
about
Do you think that
coronavirus.
it started in a lab in Wuhan?
Well, that's what they say, isn't it?
No.
It was the doctor researching the coronavirus. No.
If that's what you're hearing, then things have changed because, as far as I know, the official story is that it was a bat in a
That's
market.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
that's not a doctor in a lab.
No, but there has been a change because originally it was said that if somebody ate a bat and they got sick and it send it into some virus, which is known as COVID-19, right?
Yeah, the virus came from the bat into the
Bat
human.
into the human, right? Because they carry that. But then just a couple of days ago, I was told that a doctor was studying the virus and that it wasn't contained properly and that it spread.
Where did you hear that?
Honestly, it was not a credible source, but it was.
Not a credible source, right? But my philosophy teacher, we have a critical thinking class, teaches us how to not believe
in
bullshit.
bias. Yeah.
So, and my teacher right now thinks that it transmitted first from a bat to a weird little animal, like a little crazy looking anteater thing. And then it transferred from that mammal into humans, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why the theory changed to that. But what I heard from a biologist named Weinstein.
Okay.
He doesn't want to be associated with, that rapist from Hollywood.
I don't know his name, but probably.
Weinstein.
Okay, forget that. Yeah, but
You
what?
don't know that?
No, I don't. We can talk about that after.
Sure. So what he said is that there are a number of reasons to believe that it actually started in a laboratory in the Wuhan province, where they originally know that it comes from, which studies viruses. It studies viruses and specifically is concerned with like possible pandemics and how to prevent them and stuff. So he believes for several reasons that this version of this bat-borne virus comes from there. He also, during his PhD work, studied bats. So he did all his PhD work studying bats. He's a bat expert, right? And also a microbiology expert, so he understands about viruses.
Yeah, viruses.
Yeah, and he said that, first of all, extremely rare that a virus which is evolved along with bats, right, to jump from a bat to a human being. He said there's two things that are extremely difficult. One, that it gets transmitted to a human. Very, very rare and difficult. The other thing that's very, very rare and difficult is that it spreads from that human to another because it hasn't evolved to live in humans, right?
Yeah.
And it's not impossible, that does happen. But he said that it's much more likely that it was genetically altered. And he also looked at the actual genome of the virus and said that it looks like it's been altered. It looks like it's been altered by humans. And so he said another thing is it doesn't transmit in daylight. It doesn't transmit well in daylight. It transmits well indoors, which is another reason to believe that it's a virus that evolved inside a laboratory, not out of doors, right?
So what are you saying? Are you 50-50 on this, or like how?
So what else was there? There's that evidence. I don't know. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's an expert on bats. He's a biologist.
Well, I don't know, but I got to look into it, honestly. But another thing was China's been covering up cases.
Yeah.
So basically, and this is a true story because it's come from someone who was in China.
Yeah.
And basically, they were like, okay, so they own a phone company,
yeah.
and many people have phones, and they realized that okay, so this is the cases confirmed, and this is the death rate, right? Here's our phone company. Here's our customers for our phone company.
Yeah.
And this is how many people did not pay their bill. And they were like, okay, so, they sent the messages and stuff like that, like, okay, your bill is due and stuff like that. No response. So if these guys were alive, you know what I'm saying, they would respond and be like, okay, hey, I can't afford it because, COVID, we're not working and stuff like that.
Obviously,
they never got a response. So the government's hiding something. And you know what? Everything's in surveillance nowadays in China.
Yeah.
Like, they have artificial intelligence,
Yeah. Yeah, China's weird.
China is weird, yeah.
You ever been to China?
I've stayed in Taiwan, not
Okay.
China. Actually, Shanghai, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Been there 3 times.
I bet you that you couldn't use the internet.
Really?
Yeah. When I was in China, there's no Google. There's no Facebook. There's no YouTube. There's no Instagram.
In the airport.
Nothing that we use here in the airport. It's completely illegal in that country. It's all blocked. You go on Wi-Fi, you will not be able to access anything.
I was able to.
In China.
In Shanghai.
Shanghai. I could not.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Yeah. And it's because of censorship. They don't allow those sites.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
China.
Yeah.
But they have so much money.
Some of them do.
Like exporting.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to countries like the United States.
In Canada.
Actually, I have a question for you.
What's that?
So, particularly Canada and COVID-19, why do you think that the disparity gap is so large between provinces?
Well, what is it?
Like, okay, so Quebec has 57,000 cases confirmed, and they have about 5,700 deaths.
Yeah.
British Columbia has about 3,000 cases confirmed, and they have 189 deaths. And this is today's statistics. And Alberta's at 9,000 confirmed, and then I don't know how many deaths, but it's like that. And there's a huge gap. Like, if you look at none of it in Northwest, they don't have that many. None of Northwest has like 30 deaths, right?
It's because there's nobody out there.
Yeah, okay, so there's nobody up there. That's what I was gonna say. But Alberta, British Columbia, Quebec, and Ontario. These are the three provinces.
That makes sense. They're the most populated.
They're the populated. Yeah, but what about British Columbia?
BC's populated.
But our case number and death rate is lower than others.
Oh, it's lower? Well, we're less populated. It's a small city. we're like a fraction of the size of Toronto and those other places.
Yeah, but look, if you look at our tourism, like, it's crazy. Like, how, like, what
no tourism
do you
now.
think the government, provincial government, has put in certain restrictions? Specifically, British Columbia, the provincial government, like, they put in certain measures, whereas the
I think
Alberta's government, provincial government, didn't.
So you're saying Alberta's rate's higher?
No, I'm saying that they didn't take it as serious.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, but their numbers are way higher than ours, Alberta's. And that's just kind of scary because, like, we're, like, neighboring, right? And I'm like, what's the difference? What's going on here? So what do you think?
Yeah, I think it could be just differences in, like, the culture of the place and attitudes and whatnot. I think probably we're all highly educated over here, whereas they may not be, and they may not take it as seriously, take the official, recommendations seriously.
No, but even like physical geography, like local attitudes, taking all that stuff into account, even local geography or that.
So you think the numbers are like very different?
They are different. The statistics are there.
Well, then it could be a reporting difference, or it could be that the actual virus behaves differently in different climates.
Yeah, that could work.
Like a reporting difference means that that hospitals get more funding the more COVID cases they have, right? The more COVID deaths they have and everything.
Yeah.
They're going to pour more money into those places. So they actually have an incentive to say, this person who's 89, who has, chronic pneumonia since last year,
has COVID-19.
Died of COVID-19.
And then they get more funding from the government.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of
the more
system.
COVID deaths you have, you're tallying it up. You're like, ooh, we got another one.
Yeah, and then we have more, funding because, the government.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's playing the system.
Yeah.
That's interesting. See, you learn things through podcasts. Wow.
Right.
That was actually interesting. Well,
that's
wow.
what I heard. The numbers could be inflated for that reason, because anybody dies and they have
but
COVID-19.
they are inflated in the United States. Anything in January before that, right? WHO counted that as a COVID-19 death. So if somebody had pneumonia, if somebody had some sort of disease, or any elder died, it's inflating the actual statistics that there are now.
And they test positive for COVID-19?
Well, I don't think...
Because that makes sense to me. If like, somebody's already sick, like somebody might already be dying, but they're infected with COVID-19, that's a COVID-19 death. Yeah. Right? But if they're not even infected, then that's just an outright lie.
But that's what they're doing.
Probably.
Like, if you think about it, they're controlling us like sheep, no?
Well, the thing is that that shit gets exposed. With the internet, everybody's got a cell phone camera. There's all kinds of whistleblowers. You know, like that shit could get exposed or it could not, but
I mean, they
it
are,
often does.
This is involving
People
countries,
love making documentaries exposing shit like that.
Yeah, they
so
do.
there's money to be made.
Yeah, there is money to be made. Actually, there was this documentary that was released. It's called Out of Shadows. Have you heard of it?
Out of the Shadows?
Out of Shadows.
Out of Shadows. No, what is it?
It's crazy. It's actually very long. It's this actor who played. He was actually a stunt man, a stunt double, and basically he retired. And he looked at everyone, and like how things are in society, and he took a step back. He played Batman. He played all those people, right? And he stopped that, and he made this documentary about we are like sheep, dude. Like the government is making us wear masks. Like they're obviously that's for our protection, but like they're controlling us. Stay home, stay inside, right? Whereas some of these cases are inflated.
I think that guy's an idiot.
The guy I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, he never said that. Like, this is a different video, but like he's kind of like you gotta watch it to actually understand it. And the other thing is that it has over 20 million views, and it takes you 15 minutes to search it up on YouTube because
I think a lot of people are idiots too. But what I think is that this usually when the scientific community the world over agrees that masks will slow the spread of coronavirus.
Well, not
and
necessarily masks.
Tells you to stay home and social distance.
Yeah.
My personal feeling on that is because they're right. We're not experts. I'm not a health expert. That's what that's the consensus among all the health experts in the world. Yeah, I get that guy doesn't trust his government. I get maybe his government has lied to him before, but he's wrong about the safety measures to do with coronavirus. That's what I think.
I don't think he addressed, because the documentary was in the making for 2 years, so I don't think he particularly addressed that. I think this is a different video, but you gotta watch it to understand it. It's like an hour and 40 minutes long.
So the documentary is not about coronavirus?
No, not at all.
What's it about?
It's about out of the shadows,
Oh.
Getting out of the shadows.
So
shadows of the government.
The government of the United States?
Of the United States.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch all of it because it's too long, first of all. But I watched like 30, 40 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I can't recall it right now. But it's crazy. Honestly, I went in with an open mind. I told people to watch it and, go in with an open mind. But it's hard to not, stop that bias from getting into your head. Are you searching?
Out of Shadows. Yeah, I gotta look this up. Who is this guy?
It's not a guy.
It's a girl?
No, it's a documentary's name.
No, I understand that, but who's the guy who made it?
It was
That's
made by
my question.
It was made by a team.
Out of Shadows. Is YouTube preventing people from finding this?
Yes, it is. It took me 15 minutes. I had to get somebody to send me the link because they saved it. So it's gonna take you some time. I'm sorry to hear that.
No worries, but it may be that YouTube takes this video down because it's full of conspiracy theories that are completely groundless, and YouTube doesn't want people to be deceived by
So
bullshit.
that's the video you're.
Yeah, no, I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I've been through the whole gamut of conspiracy theories, and I've also I know some very intelligent people who teach you how to be properly skeptical about things like that.
Right? I think we need more people in the world like that.
Skeptical people?
Well, no, people who are critical thinkers and they think things through. They're fact checkers.
Fact checkers. That's what you need. You need to check the facts, right? Because you can watch a documentary like that. And by the way, first thing I noticed, emotional music. You know what emotional music is for?
It changes your
propaganda. It's for emotionally persuading you and bypassing your rational mind.
Interesting.
So, yeah, you want a documentary that's not trying to fool you? Look for a documentary without music.
I mean, music just makes it that much better, which is exactly the point, right? But no, I would say why not watch it? Why not?
I could, but yeah.
You got other things to do.
No. Like I probably will check it out now.
You know what? You
We've had
should.
this
You know,
conversation.
yeah, you should.
I will, and as soon as
It's good to know both sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? That way you can make your mind. You know, it even if you're wrong,
yeah,
it's your decision.
Can you bring up any points from the film? Like,
honestly,
I know there's corruption in the United States. It's not as bad as some other countries. You know, it's a fairly safe.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing.
Democratic.
They're in support. I can't support yet. Support. I can't say it for some reason. What? But they're in support.
You got it, man. Support.
Yeah, they're in support of Trump. So.
Oh, what? Who is the documentary?
The documentary.
Oh.
And they're saying that.
I can tell you right now, this documentary's a piece of shit. Trump's a fucking asshole.
Yo, he's actually hilarious though.
Okay, but
he's
an
a
asshole.
He's
a liar.
He is a liar.
He's a bullshitter.
But I honestly, there's this other.
He's also an egomaniac. Like
that's true.
He just like he's a fucking weirdo. Like he's not presidential. There's nothing wrong with him as like a businessman, I guess. But I mean, he doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself. Like he's not president material.
But okay, so that's what they talk about.
Yeah,
okay, so
sure
you just reminded me of what this documentary talks about.
Okay.
The news.
Yeah.
Fake news. So you've probably listened to Trump, right? And you know how he says fake news.
Oh,
fake news.
Of course.
This is all of you are fake news. That's what he says, right?
Right.
And he points it out right in his rallies. Like he was in Tulsa, right? And he was like, "You guys there, everybody, this is fake news. This is fake news. You guys are fakers, fake news."
Sure, and they are biased, but Donald Trump is just self-serving. He's got a bunch of people who are just eating out of his hand, right? And he doesn't give a fuck. Like he's not trying to expose the truth. He's not a great, That's
okay. So you said that he's an egoistic person.
He is.
Have you ever met him?
I've seen him. I've seen his tweets, bro.
Have
you seen his tweets?
Okay,
They're fucking ridiculous.
So you've seen his tweets. Okay, first of all, Twitter is like Donald Trump's diary. So don't go on Twitter, guys. Do not go on. Yeah, he's a dumbass.
He's a dumbass. You know what he says in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic? Okay, so, my ratings have never been better.
No, and you know what he said?
Fucking
He's like,
weirdo.
you know what else he said? He's like, if we don't test for COVID-19 cases, we won't have any cases.
Yeah, he said maybe people could take Lysol internally and that would kill the virus.
And people actually did that.
I'm sure they did.
Can you believe? And then he had another press conference in his literal Oval Office to explain that. And I was like, holy shit, people in America, and it's mostly those goddamn freaking Phoenix people. People who live in Phoenix. Because those Arizona, I know some decent folks too. I've been to Phoenix. That's where I saw the Jupiter thing.
There's dumber cities in Phoenix. Go to Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
They're all idiots. Is that what this is?
There's some dumb people in Florida.
The Democrats. The radical left.
I don't think they're in Florida, dude. Maybe. Is Florida a red state?
I don't know.
I'm ignorant. I'm Canadian.
Yeah, I know. Same. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But
all I know is that there's some dumb people. I've been there.
Yeah.
Like I'm speaking from experience. This isn't.
No, I've seen some dumb people. Let's see, where have I seen dumb people? What would you say the smartest state is?
Smartest state? Probably. That's a good question. I don't know.
Atlanta?
Why?
I think they are really smart people.
Are they?
They've got nice real estate. They've got good roads. They've got funding. They have one of the biggest airports in,
I think
one of the busiest airports, actually.
Probably the smartest people are living in the richest American places. So they're either in
Washington?
Los Angeles, they're in New York, they're in.
No, Los
in
Angeles has a lot of
states.
dumbasses too.
Sure, but it's got a lot of intelligent people too.
It does. But
Silicon
I would say
Valley's in California.
Washington D.C.
Yeah.
They have some very powerful people.
Obviously, yeah.
That's where it is. That's the center house. Yeah. And okay, so back to the documentary. It talks about how fake media, it blows things up.
Yeah.
So you say that, Trump's an idiot, but that's the media. You don't actually know him, right?
Dude.
Do
you know he was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for like 15 years? You know that?
Do you know Trump?
Do you know Jeffrey Epstein? He's a fucking child rapist.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But still.
Do you know what Trump said about Jeffrey?
What did he say?
Oh, he's a fantastic guy. I've known him for 15 years. He likes women as much as I do.
That's a pretty
many of them are on the younger side.
He said that.
Yeah.
Really?
About the pedophile.
Okay, this is different. Changes my views, but honestly, like we see all this stuff on the media, right? The media blows things up, and most of the information that people get, oh yeah, you know. So if I just call Trump an idiot, and I'm some famous, asshole, right? People are gonna believe me. They are gonna believe me. They're gonna believe me because I'm famous. I have money, and they know that I'm gonna be right because I have all those things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like it's a chain perpetual cycle. It's a chain reaction. And
there's a lot of fake news out there. There is. Your documentary is definitely fake news.
Well, it's not my documentary, but honestly, just check it out. Check both sides of the stories and fact check. There were some bad things that I didn't agree with in there.
Yeah.
And I told my friend who recommended it to me that this is false, dude. Yeah. I don't believe this. Like, okay, so this person who's making the documentary, how do we know it's not Trump's guy? Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta look at both aspects.
It's just a Trump supporter. That's all.
Trump supporter, exactly.
And it's a guy who's bought into a lot of conspiracies, I think. Yeah. Like, I have this friend who I used to be involved in a thing called the Zeitgeist Movement.
The Zeitgeist? I've actually heard of that.
Yeah, it's a documentary film series, right? And this guy was actually the leader of the Vancouver chapter.
Oh.
And eventually he had a falling out with that group. And now he's got his own YouTube channel. He's got a bunch of followers on, stuff. And he has these Facebook discussions about issues and whatnot. His name's Matt Berkowitz, and he's a very smart guy. He's a skeptic and a scientific thinker, and so he has now gone back on things he used to believe that were associated with the Zeitgeist films, like that 9/11 was an inside job.
I mean, was it?
Well, that's a good question. Was it?
Because what if that was all there just to promote the U.S. economy? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so terrorists had, attack on the United States.
Yeah.
Taxes go up, so that way the U.S. military gets funded, and then if they get funded, then they have the ability to make weapons, and then countries are now being feared. They're fearing this.
Okay.
What if this? Wait. So what if this happens to us? So then they buy weapons off the United States, and then the United States gets rich, and the economy goes up.
Okay, so you've just made an argument, right?
Yeah.
The argument is the United States benefited, therefore they were involved in 9/11. Now, do you think that's a good logical argument? If you said that the United States benefited, right?
Well,
the United States benefited from 9/11.
The people didn't benefit, but who knows? What if some people did?
The government benefited.
Yeah.
So therefore, the government was involved.
Probably not all of it, but the powerful people, I guess.
So what you're saying is maybe.
So maybe, yeah. It's just a thing.
Maybe. But is maybe a good reason to believe in a thing?
I mean, isn't maybe... Well, maybe you can say maybe.
See, it's all about evidence, right? Yeah. Like if there's no good evidence, then don't believe a thing, right? And you can see a documentary, but it's
then who told you that it was an attack from Al Qaeda? Like who told you that?
Exactly, right?
So we don't know anything.
Well, that's what you say, but I mean, you actually can do your research, right? You actually can do it. You can
long process though.
Yeah, and but the thing is, people like to believe a certain thing. They also love to believe that they know something, that they're special because they know something that nobody else knows, right? Or that's not common knowledge. They have the knowledge, right? Makes them feel special. So that's where conspiracy thinking, and that's there's all these logical fallacies, right? Conspiracy thinking is one of them. It's just, and then those types of people, they will believe every conspiracy that comes along,
so it's just a chain reaction.
It is. And it's because they're not actually thinking critically. They're not actually looking, they don't know how to look at evidence and evaluate evidence in a careful way. They start with the belief, and then they pack the evidence on and ignore any counter evidence. They don't even hear it. And especially with the internet, it makes that so easy because you only click on videos that support what you believe in.
Yeah.
You know, that's conspiracy thinking as opposed to carefully cross-referencing.
Yeah. No, you know, the fact is that when you click a video, your mind has already made its decision. It's already made its decision. Like, okay, if a title says Trump bullied a kid at a rally, right? Picked him up, threw him down. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
As an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and you're a Trump supporter. You're going to say, no, there's no way he did that. And then the video's there and just going to be like, oh, yeah, it was fake. It was edited.
Yeah.
So it's like that. You already made your mind. So I feel like that's what happens a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I know. I mean, my grade 10 teacher, he taught me about propaganda. You know, he told me how to filter that out. I was like, how do you do this? How do you know it's already on top of his head? Snap. And he knows.
Yeah.
Like, how?
He's done his research.
He's done his research, yeah. He's a Trump supporter, though.
Okay. This is your teacher was a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Jesus.
I mean, he says his facts, so yeah.
Yeah.
He has his facts. And he's like, you know what, I just support him. And he's like...
Everyone is in agreement. Everyone I know that, you know, has any sense is in agreement that Trump's an idiot at the very least. Like, he just is. You know? He's not making America great again.
What does your university teacher say about this?
My university teachers, they're all far left. They hate Trump, all of them.
Really?
But I don't think far left, like radical left, is good either. I think they got a lot of bullshit of their own.
Right, teachers? You're talking about your teachers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of radical.
So you never really know the truth, right? I mean, unless you have to really, really fact check, but I guess no one has the time to do that.
As long as you have the
but that's what this documentary talks
the tools
about. It talks about, you know,
critical thinking.
It talks about how you can do that. It talks about, you know.
Okay, what did it teach you? How do you evaluate?
I never watched the full video.
How do you evaluate evidence and evaluate an argument?
They're just like we had fact checkers check this for teachers.
Oh, so they told you that. Doesn't mean it's true.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But you got to watch it. You got to watch it.
That's the logical fallacy of appeal to authority.
Appeal to authority, yeah.
This authority fact checked, therefore it's true. That's not a good argument.
Yeah. No, I forgot the word of that. What's the word? Starts with a C. Got the name?
See? What? Confirmation bias?
No. Well, it could be, but no.
What?
Forgot it. Never mind.
What is illogical thing?
No, it's like I forgot it. A cognitive
cognitive bias.
Cognitive bias, yeah.
That's right. Cognitive bias. Yeah. So, but yeah, like what I'm learning in my critical thinking class is that you have to look at an argument and you have to say, do the premises add up to the conclusion?
Yeah.
And do the premises guarantee the truth of the conclusion?
Exactly.
Right? If you have a valid argument, then your premises guarantee your conclusion if the premises are true. Valid argument, true premises, conclusion is correct. Right?
100% agreed.
So, yeah, and you have that, and then you have like evidence. You have evidence. Sometimes you don't know something 100%.
Yeah.
But there's a higher probability that one thing is true.
True.
And you have to look at all the evidence that's available, and you have to be updating your beliefs, be updating
yourself.
Yeah, your own like probability in your mind of what's true by the evidence, right?
Exactly, and that's how you come to a decision, I guess.
Yeah, and if you're ignoring one side of evidence, then you're suffering from confirmation bias. You only looking at confirming evidence, right?
Yep.
You have to look at the counter evidence, and you have to say, well, when you add all these up and you add all these up, which one weighs more, right? And that's how you critically evaluate evidence.
All right. Well, this topic was great. Let's talk about one more topic.
I'm glad we got around to 9/11.
Yeah.
All the conspiracy stuff.
No, there are a lot of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you want to believe them, go ahead and believe them. But there's other things.
Well, weigh your evidence. Be a critical thinker.
Be a critical thinker. Exactly. So, talk about a different one. Let's see. What can we talk about? The best pop drinks.
I personally like diet.
Drinking.
No, what is that one?
This one's zero
Coke
sugar.
Zero.
Coke Zero, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually good.
Yeah. Let's talk about religion.
Okay, religion is a long concept.
It is, but that's the next one.
It's going to be really long. So, wait, do you want to do religion at the end? Because I have a lot to say about that.
This is the end, isn't it?
I guess it is.
It's 4 o'clock already.
All right. Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay, so you're Sikh.
Yes, I am.
I was Buddhist for 15 years.
Yep.
And I would say about a month ago, became an atheist.
1 month ago, you became an atheist.
Yeah, but a month ago, I shifted from Buddhist beliefs to atheism.
So you gave up?
I don't think so. I think I prevailed. Like, I think I,
Descended?
I was victorious.
You think you were victorious?
Yeah, victorious.
So why did you start believing Buddhist?
Well,
because
I would say because now this is what I have to admit, right? I have to admit that I was emotionally persuaded by the propaganda. No, okay. By a Buddhist book that I read, right? I was emotionally persuaded. I liked the idea. I liked the idea of reincarnation. I said, hey, this makes life fair. Exactly. This gives things this depth of meaning that they didn't have before. Because I was atheist, whether I knew it or not, until the age of about 17 when I read the first Buddhist book. Yeah, I was late 17, and then so I was I had a general idea that death is the end, and I think that that's what Western culture has adopted now.
Yeah.
Because 2 generations ago, now 3 generations or so ago, most people were Christian in Western civilization. Christians believe in an afterlife, right? And they believe in God, and they.
So is Sikhism.
Yeah. I think that atheism has become the more dominant point of view, and that's why, just being immersed in the culture that I'm from, I had an atheist mindset until I read the Buddhist book, which talked about reincarnation and karma, the idea that people who are born unfortunate, they go to bad places. No. People who do bad things are born in unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah,
there's karmic reasons for that.
100%.
Well, I did too, but that's because I emotionally
felt it,
resonated with the idea. I liked it. It made me feel good to think that was true.
So you said that converting into an atheist, you felt victorious.
Yeah, I felt like I had come to a higher level, like a higher plateau of like a basis of understanding.
But then you were not a Buddhist, so you don't believe in that if you're an atheist.
No, I don't believe in it anymore, because I think that I believed in it because I liked the idea. I wasn't persuaded by good evidence, And
Okay, so faith, you can't say faith is evidence, because
it's not.
It's what's the word? Shoot, I'm losing my words, but it's. It starts with an S, seriously. Faith is you can't just say faith is what's the word? It starts with an S. I forgot it. Shoot, man, I'm losing my words.
I don't know.
It's let me just think. You could just hum or
take your time.
Sing a song.
We'll wait.
Whoever's listening to this, sorry about that. Hopefully we get a lot of views, eh? Hopefully,
And we'll keep going,
Yeah,
we'll build it up.
We'll build it up. And if we start making money, we'll split it 50-50.
Yeah, thanks for your support.
Thank you guys, everyone,
Yeah.
It's not skeptical. Nope. It's not that. Speculation.
Faith is speculation?
It can't be. Because...
Faith is not speculation? Or what do you say?
Because you can't say faith for faith you can't have evidence. You have to feel it. That's what faith is.
Your emotions can lie to you. Your emotions can make you believe things that aren't true, though. Like,
Yeah, but that's
does he value what's true? Like, do you want to believe in what's true, or
what's true.
do you want to believe in what makes you feel good?
No, what's true?
Okay.
Because okay, so feeling something is, yeah, that can make you know that's exact. So you're saying that Buddhism made you feel something, right? And then
Yeah.
15 years later, for 15 years, it made you feel something. Seriously?
Yeah, I really stuck with it, but I believed it because, and then, I had confirmation bias. All of the evidence that I looked at was evidence that supported it. Right? I read books on cases suggestive of reincarnation, and
So what I'm trying to say is that you don't believe in that, but people came into this world like 1,000 years ago and they said this. And then it's not just it's not just Buddhism, it's Sikhism, it's Islam, it's all these religions. So isn't that enough evidence for you? Like all these religions, they've all.
I'll tell you what.
Okay,
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I'm now an atheist is because I had a debate. I was sitting on the other side of this table having a debate with my friend Matt Berkowitz, and his response to that question you just asked. So many people, made these religions. These religions all believe it. What he said is that the plural of anecdotes is not evidence. So just because a lot of people say it, a lot of people believe it, a lot of people tell stories, that doesn't make evidence. Evidence needs to be
but
scientific.
I would say religion, like Sikhism, is like you can't see God, right? But you have to experience God. And experience and feeling is two different things.
But how do you know that your experience of God
You'll know it
isn't something that is occurring in your immensely complex brain?
Well, I mean, because you're experiencing it. So,
but
how do you know? How do you exactly? So you got to experience that for yourself.
Well,
because you're saying that okay, so it's gonna be I'm gonna be experiencing it in my immensely complex brain, right?
Right.
And you dream, right?
Yes.
Like okay, so people dream at night. We go to sleep.
Yeah.
But do you know where you are in your sleep? Like let's say you can have a dream. What's it called?
You're in your cerebral cortex.
Yeah, but that's scientifically.
Yes.
That's what they say scientifically.
When in REM sleep, your cerebral cortex is active.
Yeah, so it is active.
Yeah.
But do you know where it is active? Like so other than when you're dreaming, what's happening? You don't know.
Electrical impulses in the synapses are firing
Exactly.
On an immense scale.
Immense scale, which is rapid eye movement.
Well, that's your eyes. I'm talking about the synapses in your brain.
In your brain.
There's connections in your brain.
So then you're
billions and trillions.
So
of
you're making images, but you can't see them through your eyes. So who knows what that can be? That
Your eyes don't see. Your eyes bring a signal to the brain, and you see in the visual cortex of the brain. We absolutely know the certain area of the brain that's responsible for processing visual information.
That's a long thing, but like I'm just saying that like during when we're sleeping, like we have dreams, but then there could be something beyond that, right? Like we don't even know. Like you're saying there's billions of synapses firing, trillions.
There are
So
more
what is that
synapses in the human brain than there are stars in the entire universe.
Wow.
Yeah.
But okay, so do you know what type of image that's creating? Or why that is? Why does that happen? Why do we have more thoughts when we're sleeping? Why is our brain more active during our sleep than it is in the day? Why is that?
Well, why do you think it's more active? You might be right.
It is more active. It is more active.
But you're also less you believe shit that you would never believe when you were awake. Like you'll believe that the dream is a real experience, even though it's nonsense things happening sometimes. Isn't that right? Like you're not fully there. I don't think
you're not fully there, but you feel that in a dream, like you can be killing someone, or you can be like jumping off a bridge, or you can be like driving a car, for example, on a calm, smooth road, and you'll know it's a dream, because
you mean you become aware that it's your dream?
It's your dream.
That's called lucid dreaming. Not everybody does that. Most people don't. I do.
You lucid dream, so you know that you're dreaming, but you're controlling your own dream.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm playing devil's advocate with you, because I think that dreams are incredible, and I think that they're
I think they are
full of symbolism that you're like that some deeper sort
meaning,
of
some
consciousness
yeah.
is telling you messages. Like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, they say that there's an unconscious mind.
Have you watched
That's right.
Inception?
Yes, I've watched Inception.
It's about dreaming,
That's right.
which is crazy. Forget that, but it's a great
Talk about
movie.
that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about that later. Sorry, ASMR. We should do those too, hey?
Yeah, you just got to take this thing off, and then you can hear all those sucking sounds. You know, that's what
Yeah.
this thing's for. Is
Yeah, it's to
prevent
prevent that. Yeah. Anyways, no, I believe that dreaming, most of the time other than when we're not dreaming, that we're having a connection with God, and we don't even realize it. When we wake up the next morning, it's another day for humans, and we power through that day, but we don't know what happens, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of YouTube videos done by people in high avasthas, which is like high places in the spiritual world, and they've said a lot of this stuff. So
Yeah, Joe Rogan, right? He smokes DMT.
DMT.
Yeah, and he swears that when you smoke DMT, you go to another dimension where there's these higher, more intelligent beings than you that communicate with you. And he says it's like meeting God, right? And he said it seems to prove that there's some spiritual dimension beyond this world.
So
right?
then
And he said
God exists. God exists.
well, he admits that it could be that it's just a bunch of chemicals fucking with your brain,
Okay.
making you have that experience, and it could be all in your mind. But he said if the experience is identical to the experience of realizing,
Sorry, your battery's low. We gotta finish this up.
yes, we will finish this up. How low?
It's actually just died.
Is it dead?
Let's just
Let's end this off.
end it off here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kellan, for inviting me over. It was a great podcast.
Yes, thank you, Ekam.
Thank you. All right.
All right.